Hey guys, Chris from Provo Beast Audio Installation, and today we're doing front door component speakers on this 2015 Toyota Tacoma. In this install, we're going to show you how to replace the mid-range speaker as well as the tweeter in the door, show you how to wire up crossovers. First thing that we need to do in this install is go ahead and get this door panel off. Now there's going to be a little cover over the screw as well as a cover inside the handle, and all you have to do is get a little screwdriver and open that on up on both of them. You'll see the little place where you can insert the screwdriver and grab yourself a Phillips. Now here on the right hand side, just out of view of your screen here, but there's a little clip here that all you have to do is push in the inside. And once you press in the inside, the clip pops out, and once you're ready to reinstall it, you push that pin on the out, reinsert the clip, and then you can lock it by pushing it back in. And then up here in the top, we'll have our sail panel that we need to remove. Go ahead and do that. Now just be very careful, because typically with these, your clips stay in the door, and you don't want them to fall inside the door panel. Go ahead and remove those so you can put them right back into the sail panel. Just like that, so you can clip them right back on in. Okay, put that off to the side. Okay, at this point we're actually ready to start pulling. Now usually I grab in the bottom corner. There's a little ledge where you can get your fingers up underneath. Just go ahead and give it a pull. Just like that. Now if this pops on out, that's fine. You can always disconnect it from the underside as well. Disconnect your harnesses here. Okay, once that's out of the way, we'll have our speakers. Now we have our tweeter and our mid-range 6x9, all held on with 10mm. Like so, and then you can disconnect the harness here. Same thing down below with your factory 6x9. Okay, once those are out, give that a tug. There we are. And then same thing with your tweeter here. There's a little harness that you can disconnect. There you go, disconnect that, and you can actually disconnect the tweeter altogether. So at this point, all our components are removed. Now before we head to the bench, just a couple of things to note. Everything runs in parallel through the tweeter here. It acts as the connection between the radio and the mid-range. So this is the plug that comes from the radio. As it comes from the radio, your signal actually passes through the tweeter and then sends the signal back down to the mid-range. So just remember, if you install a 6x9 here and don't connect the tweeter or anything back to this plug, you're not going to get any signal from your 6x9. And so what we're going to show you here in a moment is how to bridge this and connect your speakers so your 6x9 and your tweeter play together. All right, so we're here at the bench. Just show you some of the parts that we're going to be using. We're using these NVX component speakers, the VSP65KIT. It comes with a mid-range speaker, comes with a tweeter, and a crossover as well. So we're going to be installing these in the factory location. To help us with that install, we picked up these install parts. So the speaker bracket that you'll need is the Metra 82-8147. It converts the 6x9 speaker hole and mounting locations to a 6.5 and 5.25 if needed as well. And then the wiring harness adapters that we're going to use are the Metra 72-8104, and they kind of look like these. These plug directly into the factory plugs. So what we need to do with our bracket here is, since we're using a 6.5 and not a 5.25, we don't need these interior mounting spots, so we're going to go ahead and break them off. And then using the screws that came with the speaker, we're going to go ahead and get them mounted in the speaker bracket, just like so. And then we're going to get our speaker adapter hooked up to our speaker. Now with our tweeter adapter, this adapter did not come with the NVX speakers. This adapter I'll post in the description where we picked these up on Amazon, but it's basically an ABS piece of plastic that we purchased that has a 2-inch hole cut out, and our NVX speaker fits right in it. And what we did is we put a little hot glue on the back just to secure it properly, and this will bolt directly in the factory location of the tweeter and the door. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and get this all mounted up and then head to the truck and get everything installed. Okay, so we went ahead and got our speaker mounted in the adapter. We got our wiring harness all plugged in here, ready to go. Routed up. I actually zip tied it just to the basket of the speaker so it's nice and secure, and it runs up through the hole up in the top so it doesn't get pinched, and that'll plug into the factory plug. So that's ready to go. And like I said, our tweeter is already mounted in the tweeter bracket that we have as well. That's ready. So we're going to go ahead and get our crossover mounted in the door. We'll show you how we did that, and then we'll hook up our connections, mount our speakers, and reinstall the door panel. Alright, so we're here back at the door. Now we mounted our crossover kind of right here by this bundle of harness. And the nice thing is, where this is located, there's plenty of space back behind the door panel so this doesn't get pinched or make the door panel bulge out because of where this is mounted. And so we put this here, we popped off the cover and mounted 2 screws here, so it's all nice and ready to go. Now, pulling this harness up here. So with your harness, you're going to have 2 sets of speaker wires. You're going to have a set of speaker wires that run down to your mid-range. That was formerly the 6x9. And then your other set of speaker wires here are from the radio itself. And so the one from the radio, if you can trace the one down to the 6x9, that's not the ones you want to put into the input. The ones from the radio, you're going to go ahead and put into the input on your crossover. And then obviously the other set here, because we cut the plug off, the other set will actually go to our mid-range. So this will plug into our mid-range. And then that third set here, this output, goes to our tweeter, which will mount up above. Now we just cut the harness off, so we stripped the wires back on both sets of speaker wires, and that's what we screwed into our crossover. Let's go ahead and get this mounted here. Now using the same screws, plug that on in. And again, we trace this wire, and that goes to the woofer output on our crossover. So that's all good to go. Now, let's go ahead and get our tweeter mounted. Now let's strip our speaker wires. Now we know that on this tweeter specifically, the one with the red stripe is our positive. So we'll go ahead and loosen the terminals here of our crossover. And in the positive side, we'll go ahead and slip in the tweeter. Positive and negative. Make sure all our terminals are nice and tight. Okay, so we're all mounted. Let's go ahead and give this a test. Alright, so we have verified everything works fine. It's all mounted, everything's secure. At this point, we can get the door panel back on. Okay, there we are, all reassembled. If you have any questions about what we did here, go ahead and post a comment below. Thanks guys for watching. Hit the like button, subscribe, and we'll see you in the next video.